Hello to all of my GEMS family. How are you doing? This is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger. Hold on one second. I'm going to turn on some more lights. Let's see. Hopefully, this is better. Yeah, it's a little better. Not much, but a little bit. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. It's hump day, and we made it halfway through the week. I wanted to come live and talk to all of my GEMS family and to say hello. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. And if not, maybe this encouragement that I'm going to give you today is going to assist you and help you to continue on your journey in this life, okay? And this topic today is as long as you keep going, as long as you keep going. Why do we need this sort of encouragement? Because there's a lot of things that get in our way. There's a lot of things that get in our way for us to be able to navigate this life. There's a lot of things that will kind of stop us, slow us down, and block us on our way to wherever it is that we're trying to go, whether it's just having peace, whether it's getting to success because you have plans and goals. But I just wanted to encourage somebody that may feel down today in their life. Maybe people are doing mean things to you. Maybe you're the subject of ridicule. Maybe people talk down to you, treat you like you are inferior, or maybe you just feel discouraged just because of life. Today's topic is just for you, as long as you keep going. And we're going to start with the first point on this is, as long as you keep going, know that there is going to be roadblocks in the way. Hi, Devin. How are you? Welcome, everybody. Know that there's going to be roadblocks in the way, everybody. Know that. I wasn't really prepared to be an adult. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't get the conversations to tell me all of the things that could happen. I had parents that was just like, okay, you're grown, go do your own thing. But I just wanted to encourage somebody that along your way, as you're navigating life, that there is going to be roadblocks. There is going to be things that will happen to you to get you discouraged, to get you to feel down. And some of those roadblocks may be various things because everybody is not the same. We have different things that throw a wrench in our plans, a wrench in our happiness, a wrench in our peace. And I know one of the roadblocks for me is people telling me how you feel. You know, if you don't know how you feel, then who is going to tell you? That's why we have to keep working on ourselves, and we have to continue on just moving forward. And I wanted to encourage you all and say that. Hi, Elvis. How are you? I wanted to tell you guys to keep going because there was a time many years ago where I was in this space of being very angry, very sad, and I didn't have anybody to pull me up and to feed me motivation, to tell me to continue on, to keep going. Because when life is lifing and things happen to us, we feel like we're the only person. And I wanted to let you guys know that you're not the only one that goes through the times of feeling very discouraged, very sad. I want to lift your spirits, and to hopefully this message is going to bring you some peace. And I just want you to know that there will be roadblocks in the way. There's going to be things that try to mess you up, sabotage your peace, sabotage your happiness, and even sabotage you. But I had to learn for myself that I had to want peace. I had to want to keep going. And so much times, you really don't feel like continuing on because maybe that pain is so heavy for you to lift. Maybe, facing things day after day is too much. especially if you have experienced loss in your life, if you lost somebody that you love, if a friend who claims to be your friend, quote unquote, but then they're not a friend. There's going to be some roadblocks in your way. Continue on regardless of how you feel. Okay. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Awesome, Devin. Um, so that's what continues to help me all the time is, speaking on the roadblocks and knowing that there's going to be things to happen, that our life isn't going to be perfect. Your life isn't going to be perfect. There's going to be some things that people say or do to try to get you down. And what it is that people who are miserable want to make you feel miserable, want to make me feel miserable. But, acknowledge it. You don't have power over here. You're not going to stop me. You will not make me miserable. You will not stop me from having peace in my life. You're not going to stop my joy. You're not going to break me down. And that's exactly what people like to do sometimes. They like to get us down. They like to get you discouraged because they want to say who you are. And that is why we have to know who we are. You have to know yourself, and you have to speak over your life, regardless of what comes in your way, regardless of what is happening to you, regardless of what other people say. You have to learn how to go around those things, go over it, go around it, troubleshoot. But one thing is, don't give up. You got to get around those roadblocks. And you have to encourage yourself, because if you don't encourage yourself, nobody is going to. Hey, Vondi, how are you? Welcome. A happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing great. And that is something that, for me, I had to learn to self-encourage. And it means that you have to be self-aware. And that is something like, sounds kind of weird, but it's the truth. You have to be aware of how you feel. And anytime I'm feeling discouraged, anytime I'm feeling saddened, I ask myself, why do I feel the way that I feel? What is making me feel the way that I feel? Is it inside of me? Am I maybe too tired? Or am I allowing other people to sap my energy? Hey, Edward, how are you doing? Welcome. And that is a very important question. Asking yourself if other people are making you feel the way you feel, or do you make yourself feel the way that you feel? Know how you feel, know how important you are, know how special you are. And in today's society of people being so mean, so evil, so just don't care anything about you. They don't care anything about how you feel and what you're going through. It could be your own relatives, it could be people that you've known for many years. And if it's not about them, they don't care about you. But that's why you have to be self-aware, and you have to work on your own relationship with yourself. So when other people are acting offbeat, weird, strange, or you need to get rid of them out of your life, you'll be okay. And I had to learn to stop depending on other people for my support. I had to learn to support me. I had to learn to encourage myself. I had to learn that part. And I don't think your childhood and schooling prepares you for all of the things that you're going to navigate in life. I believe school should be teaching you life hacks and life tips on how to make it, to how to survive, because there's so much things that happen on a day-to-day basis that can affect your mind, affect your body, affect your spirit. And when you feel discouraged, when you feel down, that is going to be a major roadblock in making you feel good about yourself. And this is something that nobody has ever taught me. Nobody has ever taught me to encourage my own self. That had to come from within. And you have to get to a space in your life where you feel sick and tired of being angry, sick and tired of being used and abused, sick and tired of all of everything that happens on the outside. And you have to work on your own self-healing journey, your own enlightenment, your own empowerment. And I don't know where that came from, but one day I just woke up and I was sick and tired of how other people were treating me. I was sick and tired of waiting for people to show up for me and to support me. And it's something that for most of us, it will never happen. Most people do not care about how you feel and what you're going through and what you're dealing with, because every single person has their own issues and weights they're carrying. So I had to work on empowering myself. And I want to say to all of my GEMS family, empower yourself. It doesn't matter what you've come from. It doesn't matter what other people say about you. It doesn't matter who likes you, who doesn't like you. You have to empower your own self and learn to love yourself for who you are, for what you are, and for what you can do. And you stand in that. And the people who leave your life and dismiss you, abandon you, talk about you, forget about them. It's about you and loving yourself and knowing that you personally are worthy. So I wanted that to be the message of this discussion. For us to keep going, we have to believe that we are worth it. We have to believe that something is ahead for us. And I've said it so many times over the years since I've been a content creator. You have to encourage yourself and you have to empower your own mind, empower yourself. And on a day-to-day basis, some days we feel really good and feel really strong and positive, and other days we just don't. And that this message is for the ones that don't. When you're feeling those very low days, very discouraged days, feeling very alone and isolated, when you feel that nobody cares about you, this is what I want you to think about. Self empowering your mind. I've said it so many times. You have to speak over your life. You have to speak love. You have to speak friendship. You have to speak peace. You have to speak vitality and elevation over yourself. It's not about who is around you. It's about who you are. It's about what you believe about yourself. Now, this is another one that kind of gets in the way of us continuing on is people who hate on us. In every single relationship in this life, there's going to be haters. There's going to be haters in business. There's going to be haters in your relatives. There's haters on social media, everywhere. There's haters with your relatives, even people who claim to be your friends. It could even be somebody you're in a romantic relationship with. People hate on you because they hate on themselves. And until somebody learns how to love themselves first, then they are definitely not going to learn how to support you and love you how you deserve. And something that happened in my life was I had to learn to push past all of that. I won't tell you that it feels good because it doesn't. It never feels good when people hate on you, when people are mean to you, when people don't support you like you deserve to be supported. No, that doesn't feel good. It's very hurtful. It's very mean when people hate on you and you ask yourself sometimes, what did I do to deserve the way that I'm treated? What did I do to deserve this sort of treatment, this lack of support, this negativity, this like attacking? And people will attack your character. People will make up whole lies about you. But the people who hate on you is because they hate themselves, and that's another part of keeping yourself empowered. You have to let that stuff that people say bounce off of you and go back right back to them. You can't let the people who hate on you be a reflection of you hating yourself. And I know that that's something that's easier said than done because words hurt. And it does, like, especially if you're feeling kind of low already. And then here comes another thing that somebody will say to you. Hurtful words do matter. You remember when we were younger and people used to say, words will never hurt you. And that's the biggest lie. Words hurt. They do hurt. And I find, especially the people who we love and we trust the most, they can say the most hurtful things to us, right? But we can't let the words of other people, the actions of other people, to stop us from living our life, to stop us from living the life that we deserve. And that is something that it took me a while. It took me many years to come to a space to say, I deserve to have peace. I deserve to love myself. I deserve all of those things. And if other people don't like that for me, that's their problem. You have to empower yourself and you have to dismiss the haters. See, I had to learn that I can't keep feeding people, because that is what people want. People want, when they say something to you, they want you to say something back. They want more drama, more conflict to happen to get you to feel even more discouraged. See, and I've always said that I can't make people like me. I can't make people support me. I can't make people understand me and back me. But what I can do is be myself. Being authentic is one of the best gifts that you can give yourself. Don't try to be like the trends or society or what other people want you to be. Self empowerment is so important. And when you feed that to your haters, boy, they hate you even more, because when someone says something or does something and you don't respond, actually, you say, that's your problem. I don't care. Don't go back and forth with people and let them keep you discouraged and make you feel bad about yourself because they hate themselves. And no matter what other people say, when people attack you, talk about you, try to ruin your character, try to bring you down, hate on you for no reason. Even sometimes people come to the point of they hate you so much that they want to unalive you. They don't even want you to be here anymore, or they want you to lose your job. They want you to suffer because they're suffering with whatever issue that they are facing. And all we can do is let haters hate. For me, my haters are my motivators. My haters encourage me every day I wake up and I don't want to do something. Say, I don't want to exercise. I don't want to do something for my business. I don't feel like, taking care of myself. I want to eat garbage that day. I remind myself that haters want me to look a mess, a hot mess, right? They want to get, and you give them something, you feed them fuel when they see you look disheveled, when they see you, oh, I'm so sad today, or when they see you low, they smile. That makes people happy. And how I love to feed the haters, I feed the haters by I smile. I take care of myself. I pour more time into me. I keep myself more focused. I go harder than I ever would have, just because I know there's somebody hating on me and telling me that I can't do it. And this message is for you all as well. There's somebody right now, somebody that that is hating on you because for whatever reason. Maybe they don't like the way you look. They don't like the way you talk. They don't like your loyalty. They don't like that other people like you. For whatever reason, people hate on you. People hate on me. And the majority of the time, I know I'm not a person that goes back and forth with people. I'm not a person that, has people in my business. So when people hate on me, that's their issue, their problem. I don't feed the haters. Don't give them any fuel. Don't no commentary. There's no comment. It's complete crickets. So the more people talk about you and you say nothing, eventually they're going to get sick and tired of hating on you. And if not, oh well, let other people feel what they feel. And it took me a really long time to get to that space to say, let people say what they want to say, but I'm not going to stop. You see it and you're like, well, oh well, that's them. That's how you have to deal with haters. Do it anyways. Whatever it is that you're doing in your life, do it anyways. If you have a goal, if you're trying to get educated, you're trying to buy a home, you're trying to save, you're trying to retire, you're trying whatever, elevate your business, whatever it is that you're trying to do, go for it. Go for it. You don't need another person's backing. You don't need other people's support. The only person's support you need is yours. And that's why I always say you have to empower your own mind. You have to be empowered and you have to fix it in your mind. This is what I want and this is what I'm going to do. And for those of you who don't know, I am a content creator of multiple channels, and people have asked me, how do I navigate 5 channels? And I'll tell you the secret right here, because I'm empowered, because I know what I want, because I keep a time management. I have a schedule and I stick to it because I know that there's somebody who says, you can't do it. I don't feed the haters. I feed myself. I empower my own mind and say, come on, let's do this and get it done. And when I do every single time, I slap the face of a hater. I slap the face of a person who told me that I can't do it. Every time you get up and you exercise, you slap the face of a hater. Every single time when you win and succeed in your business, you zip the mouth of a person who told you you can't do it. I know that I have Gems family that they'll tell you you can never do it. That will never work. But there you are thriving. People say you can't do it until you do it. Every single time I win and I succeed, I give some fuel. Say, how about that, haters? How about that? And then there's no response from them because people will feel that you can't do it. But what it is that they can't do it. They're not you. Don't let a hater be the one that has your downfall. Okay. And there are some things that happen along the way when we are feeling some type of way about our life, and that is discouragement and depression. It's a real thing. It's more than just sadness, because sadness happens to everybody because we're human beings. Depression is a real thing. It is a diagnosis that you get from a doctor when it's more than just you have a day where you're feeling down. I mean, it's months, it's years, and you can't shake it. You can't stop the tears. You can't stop the feelings of worthlessness. You can't stop it. And there's support for that. I wanted to say that to somebody. You do not have to battle depression on your own, but it means at first you have to acknowledge it to yourself. I'm depressed. I really am depressed. And it doesn't make you less than a woman. It doesn't make you less than a man. It just means you're honest enough with yourself to seek help because you care about yourself. And I have been through that many times in my life, dealing with and coping with depression. I have my dark times, and I definitely, every time the weather gets cold, I always get seasonal depression. Every single time, the darkness and the cold and being by myself, it takes a toll on me, and I always get depressed during those seasons. So my encouragement to anybody who is dealing with depression on a day-to-day basis, I want to encourage you that you're not alone. You're not the only person. And yes, there is somebody who cares about you. Stop putting that in your head that nobody cares. The reason why you feel that way is because you are expecting for people around you to care about you. And just because they may not care about you, it doesn't mean you can't care about yourself. I had to learn to find people that actually supported me and not just the ones that were related to me by blood. I loved myself enough to say, I need to find my tribe. I needed to find people who were going to be there for me without me having to do anything for them. That they were going to be real with me. They were going to be supportive. They were going to encourage me when I felt down, and it wasn't always me having to give. That's the sort of tribe, friendship, accountability partners that we need. And you got to look for them. You look for them in support groups. Every single week, I go to a support group for grieving people because I know that the weight of my grief, I can't handle it on my own. And the same thing with depression or any heavy weight that you're dealing with. You have to get support. You have to seek support from people who are either going through it or have gone through it. Because no matter how much you try to explain to somebody else how it feels for whatever issue that you've had in the past or in the present, they won't understand it because people can't understand what they have never gone through. If you tell somebody I'm depressed and they've never gone through depression, of course they're going to tell you, get over it. Oh, it's okay. You just need to stop thinking about it. And sometimes you just can't. So search for the support groups. And I have to say, even when I have those times of depression, even when I can't lift that heavy depression weight, I just sit in my support group and I just listen to others. And when I listen to other people, I realize that yes, while I have things going on and personal issues, when you listen to other people and you realize other people have way bigger problems and issues than me. Not that my depression didn't matter or doesn't matter. It helps to keep you on a balanced perspective that I get depressed and that's okay because I'm human. I have feelings and I had to learn that my depression was when I was holding in too much. I wasn't journaling about it. I wasn't getting outside. I wasn't finding a hobby, finding friends, doing something to encourage myself. And I will always say that to all of my GEMS family. This life is hard, it's brutal. People can be so mean. So you have to empower your own self. You have to be aware of how you're feeling. I'm feeling depressed. Not just I'm sad, I'll get over it. And no, it doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong because you know what you're dealing with and you love yourself enough to say, I need support and look for it. There's free support groups online. And when this live stream is over, I'm going to link some of the support groups that I have seen on social media and also some social groups that I support and advocate for. So when this live is over, I'll put some of that in the description box. And there's also hotlines that help when you're having those mental health issue breaks, like feeling really down because of the weight of life, the weight of adulting. Now let's talk about discouragement. Discouragement is something that happens to every single human being and every single adult. There are so much things that can make us discouraged. Maybe somebody has said something to you that really hurt your feelings and you didn't expect it. You didn't like it. That can be very discouraging. Or when you deal with some transitions in your life, maybe something happened, maybe somebody left your life, maybe they moved away, maybe there was a breakup of a friendship or a romantic relationship. That can be discouraging. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you're dealing with some sort of health problem. Maybe it's just life is not what you expected it to be. You expected for things to happen for you and it didn't. And that can be very, very discouraging. But I just wanted to, lift you guys up with knowing that you're not alone, knowing you're not the only person. I too get discouraged. Actually, I get discouraged probably at least every week, but people would never know that because of how I stay consistent. I don't allow my discouragement to control me. And that is something that I learned through therapy and positive support system, reading, and so many other things. I had to learn how to encourage my own self. Thank you so much, Edward. I appreciate you. And that's something that I had to learn. I had to learn how to encourage my own self, because if you're feeling discouraged, you're feeling some type of way, I you cannot let your mind stay there. Anytime I'm feeling discouraged, I'm going to pick up a book, I'm very big on journaling, everybody. So you need to, when you're feeling in a good space mentally, I recommend that you take a journal out, a notebook, and start writing amazing things about yourself. I'm this, I'm that. Or when times where you did something and you were proud of yourself, write all of those things. Fill up a notebook full of them. And when I'm feeling discouraged, I get my encouragement journal and I read it and I said, yes, I did. I did do that. Yes, I did overcome that. Yes, I remember when that happened. You have to fortify your own mind. And especially when you're feeling discouraged, you cannot look to others to encourage you. Remember what I've always said is you have to be your own best friend. Nobody is going to know you. Nobody is going to love you like you. You know how you feel. You know what you're dealing with. You know what your mental state of mind is. Believe that. Okay? And stand in that. I'm feeling discouraged. Then you do something to lift that discouragement. And I'll tell you, every time I pick up my encouragement journal and I read things about myself, the times where I didn't want to do something, maybe I lost weight, or it was when I went for a job interview and I got the job, or when I helped somebody and I brought a smile to their face. Those are things that we can write in our encouragement journal. So when we are feeling down, we remind ourselves of the times when things were good. We're not always going to have sunshine and roses days. There are going to be days where it's going to be very disappointing. There's going to be very discouraging. People are going to say and do things to us, but don't stay in that space. And I had to learn that part because I was definitely the Betty Downer, like, oh, I'm feeling down today. And I would just stay that way and let myself be depressed. Instead, now these days, when I'm feeling down, I say to myself, yes, today I'm feeling down. Today I'm feeling discouraged. That's how you feel every day. Oh, adults say, I hope it gets better. I hope some of these tips that I'm sharing will help you to feel better. Welcome to the channel. Um, and that's something that I had to learn. When I'm feeling discouraged, I don't stay in a dark room. Definitely there's things that we can do. Turn on the light. You need to listen to some positive music, something that will make you get up, get active, dance, smile, read something positive, but don't just stay in the dark in a room by yourself and allowing your thoughts to control you. I know that that's easy. I know that that's how we feel. That's how you may be feeling. And that's how I felt in the past. Just don't want to get out of bed. Just want to lay in bed and feel sorry for myself and say, nobody cares about me. And that can be the truth. There are a lot of times where you could have people in your inner circle that don't care about you, but trust and believe while you're there with your head held down, they are sitting there living their life. And that is what helped me to lift my discouragement. I'm not going to sit here feeling sad about people who don't support me and don't like me and all those things. And I stop my life while they're out living theirs. No, you have to shift that. This is my life and I have to take my power back. I've had to look at myself in the mirror and to say that this is my life and I have to take my power back because I love myself and I deserve to be happy. And I say that over and over again. And next thing I know, I'm smiling and then I get out. That is one of my tips when I'm feeling discouraged. Even if I don't want to talk to anybody, even if I'm still feeling blue, I always feel better by just getting outside. Even if it's a few minutes, go for a walk, do something for yourself, take a drive, go and do something. It doesn't have to be anything that costs any money. It could be something free. Go for a drive, go for a walk, go somewhere and be around other people. Do something and take care of yourself. And when I'm feeling down and discouraged, especially in the winter months when I get into the depression parts, I always make sure I take care of myself. I'll feel like lying in the bed, just my hair standing up. Oh, just and just looking into space and sitting in those thoughts. Don't let those thoughts win. I have to shift those thoughts when I'm feeling that way, and you have to acknowledge it and say it out loud. I'm feeling really down. I feel really sad today. I feel terrible. I feel whatever. And then still get up and put yourself together. Get into some personal care. And I know that that's for some people, oh, that's a given, but maybe you've never been depressed, because a depressed person understands that part. When you're really depressed, the last thing you care about is getting up, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, and eating some food. You just want to lay there and feel sorry for yourself. So that always helps me, even if I'm feeling down, and maybe that down isn't going to end by the personal care, but you do feel better when you look better. Put yourself into something nice. Especially when I'm feeling down, I put on one of my best, something very pretty, something bright, or whatever, something that you like. Put yourself together and then look at yourself in the mirror and say, I look good now. I look good. And when you look good, you feel good. You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate you guys being here. If anybody is new, feel free, if you're enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe. Yes. So I just wanted to acknowledge that to everybody. You know how you feel, and I know what depression feels like. I know what discouragement feels like. So I don't let other people tell me how I feel. I acknowledge it and say, I'm feeling discouraged today. I'm feeling depressed today, but I'm still going to get myself together. And then I take out my empowerment journal and I read things about myself when I overcame something. I wanted to give up at that time, but I didn't. And then I said, yes, I did it before and I can do it again. And I tell myself, this too shall pass. And if my situation does not pass, I'm going to continue to do my best. And that's what I want to say to everybody. When you feel like to stop and you don't want to keep going, you want to give up, you want to throw in the towel, you have to remind yourself, I'm doing the best that I can. And for me, my discouragement sometimes come by the things that people will say. Oh, look at you. You gained weight. Look at you. Oh, you're still working that job. Oh, people find a way to try to get you down and step on you so they can elevate themselves. And then they laugh at you at your expense. And that doesn't feel good. That's mean. It's rude. I'm never going to say that that's okay when people don't care for you or aren't nice to you. But you cannot let other people control how you feel about yourself. When someone says something like that to you, say, that's your opinion, and your opinion does not matter. It does not hold weight with me. Hey, Lara, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Your opinion of me does not hold weight. See, you have to know who you are. And I recommend every time when you're feeling depressed, I recommend try it. Write this in a journal. I am enough. I can get through this. I am empowered. I am somebody. Until you empower your mind, you won't feel empowered. And you keep writing that until you believe it, until you start saying, yes, I am enough. There is nothing that I can't do. Even if your mind is telling you something, let your spirit dominate it and say, no, that's not true. I am special. I am worth it, even if other people don't think so. Don't let other people get power over you. Don't let the depression control you. Don't let your emotions control you. You have to silence it and say, no, that's not true. I am enough. I can get through this. Sometimes hard things happen to us in our life, and it doesn't feel good when people treat us a certain way, or when whatever situation you're dealing with and it's so heavy. Yeah, it can be very discouraging. It can sadden us, but don't stay there. Do something about it. Get up and get out and start enjoying your life. Get yourself into hobbies or things and being around people who are supportive, that do listen to you, that will clap for you. You know, I have people that are in my groups, my support groups, that when I tell them, like, I didn't want to today, I wanted to stay in the bed, and I got up and I put on an outfit and I saw the most beautiful sunrise, or I saw the most beautiful sunset, or I saw some birds and something, or whatever it was. And I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't be able to see that beauty of the sunset or the sunrise or the birds, or seeing the beach waves, because I live in Florida. Whatever is in your area, find ways to get out there and enjoy what is available to you. Don't just stay home. Don't just listen to other people. I remember when I was at the beginning of my weight loss journey, and I had so much people that would say things to me. Oh, you're fat. You're always going to be fat. And that hurt my feelings. It really did. And when it's somebody that you care about, like your relative or your so-called friends, allegedly, and they may not say it to your face, sometimes they do, but other times they'll say it behind your back and you hear it back, and it's like a dagger in your heart. And you're like, wow, you don't expect for people to be so insensitive. And I think sometimes people think by saying, oh, you're fat, or you're this, or you're that, or you need to get a job, or you need this, they feel like that's encouraging, but it's very discouraging. Sometimes, all people need sometimes is someone to put their arm around them, just for them to feel acknowledged. You matter to me. And I'm grateful these days that I have people in my life that empower my mind. See, I don't have a lot of people that I trust anymore. I definitely don't. And just because a person is your relative, you cannot expect them to encourage you. If that person is not encouraged, if that person is in a bad space in their life, you can't expect for people to give you what you need. You have to give it to yourself. So when I wake up every day and I'm feeling discouraged, depressed, feeling some type of way, wanting something, I have to make it happen. The power lies within me. And if I don't have the power that day, that's when I call my accountability, my mentor, my coaches, people who actually will pour into me and feed me support. Say, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. What can I do to help you? See, and that says, you know what? I want to get out and go for a walk, but I'm not strong enough to do it on my own today. I need some support. I need a friend. And then when you have that friend show up, hey, okay, just let me get myself together. Let's meet up in an hour at this location. And that makes me feel good. And that lifts my depression and my discouragement, even for a little while, because I know that somebody cares about me. So I had to learn to stop looking for the people in my life to support me and find other people outside of that. Find it in a support group, find it in a mentor, find it in a therapist, find it in somebody else, but don't expect other people to give you what they cannot. No matter how much we want our relative, how much you may want a friend, so-called family, to do things for you, they won't. They're not going to. So stop waiting for them to give you that, and stop letting that depress you. You just have to say, it is what it is. They're the one that lost out. They're the one that missed out on my time and my friendship and my love. It's their loss, not mine. You're not losing. Mhm. Yes, you have to go outside and look at the beautiful day. Yes, Lara. You have to find a way to lift it, and nobody's going to do that for you. But this is something that also can stop you from going. financial issues. You know, as an adult, bills keep coming and keep coming and keep coming, and debt and this and this. It's just so overwhelming sometimes when you're working so hard, you're making your money, and you still can't make ends meet because things are so expensive. Or on top of that, maybe you have some debt. And what helps me with that is, don't ignore, tear up the bills, just say, and give up. First, you have to find out what your all your expenses are. You remember what I've said many times, I have separate journals for different things. And one of them is I have a money notebook. And I write in there what my bills are, how much debt I have. And then I find a way to lower that, you know, even if it's a small thing, you know, like if you say you have a minimum payment on your credit card, find a way to put every time you make that payment, but then putting an extra $10 into the principal. It's going to start to lower your debt. It's not about doing major things, but it's doing what you can, how you can. And even on a fixed income, you can save money. And people say, oh, that's impossible. No, it's not, because I'm proof of that. You don't have to have a lot of money to be able to save some money. I learned when I stopped wasting my money on junk food, wasting my money on things that I don't need, buying things that I don't need, and there's nothing wrong with what I have. You don't have to keep up with society's trends about phones and this and buying that and the latest apps and the newest sneakers and this brand and that brand. You don't have to do that. It's different if you want to do it because you can afford it. But I know that when I learn to stay in my own lane, knowing what my income is and not trying to finance above my means, this is what I can afford. And that's what I'm going to do. And whoever wants to make fun of me, let them make fun of me. I have had so much more peace when I've learned to mind my own financial business. I'm not going to buy a $200 this or a $500 that if I can't afford it. And anybody who makes fun of you for not having things is no friend. That is not somebody who cares about you if they want to embarrass you and talk about you. Leave those people alone. And that's no friend. That's not your family. That's not somebody who cares about you. Because somebody who cares about you will support you wherever you are. And I learned to walk and mind my own business. I know what I can afford, and I'm not going to do anything outside of that. And whoever doesn't like it, then they can go. So I had to learn that my financial issues is mine. Oh, you lost your job? Well, here's to finding one, Dolce. Don't say you lost it. Say you're searching. I'm searching, I'm seeking, and I will receive it. I'm telling you about the power of manifesting what you want. It's a very powerful thing. And when I started to speak in first person, I am successful. I am a very wealthy businesswoman. It's about what you speak about yourself. And if you don't believe it, you're not going to draw that energy into you. When you say you're successful, then you do the things that successful people do. And a successful person knows their business. A successful knows how much are my bills every month. I bet if I ask people right now, how much are your bills every month? People would go, oh, I don't know. You should have an estimate. How much is your light, water, mortgage, rent, car payment, etc., whatever. Put all that together and then find ways to cut out what is not necessary. The first thing that I did when I was trying to get myself back on track with financial issues was cutting all the extras, all the streaming services, and so much other things that I have had to face that I don't need. Yes, I want all those things, but those are luxuries that you have when you can afford it. I remind myself it's okay to let that go. Later on, maybe I'll get it back. But right now, I can't afford it. And don't be embarrassed about what you can't afford. Just say, I can't afford it. and stay within what you can afford. And for me, in my financial situation, even with a low income, I've learned to meal prep. I've learned to shop where I can afford. I've learned to cut coupons, buy things in sale, buy things in bulk, and then don't waste. For me, my financial issues was happening because I was wasting my money. I definitely was wasting, you waste things and throw things away, and you're ordering and it's takeout, and you're having fun, but then you struggle later and can't pay bills and things because you were not responsible. See, financial literacy is something that is not taught in schools. You have to learn how to mind your own financial business, okay? And learn how to save, how to budget, how to invest. And I know those are words that we don't like to hear as adults. We don't like to talk about budgeting and things like that and saving money, but that's the only way you can lift some of the heavy weight of your situation. Okay. So, make a plan, write down all of your financial issues, write down all your bills, what day of the month is it due, and then find a way to handle each one at a time. And that's what I do. When I learned that if my bills were coming out at the first of the month and I knew that I wasn't going to get paid until the 14th, I called the company and asked them if they could change the date that it's due. I didn't know that you can do those things, but when I started to learn when I started to read books on finances, I learned that a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So if you know that you're always late on the bill because you don't get paid until 2 weeks later, ask them if they can change the date that your bills is due for the last day of the month. Can you put that bill as due on the 31st instead of the 1st? That may help you. It will give you more time to be able to handle your business. I hope that that tip helps somebody. I think we have 3 more tips and then we're out of here. This is a major thing for so many people that gets so many discouraged. Health problems. It could be your personal health problems. It could be having a family member with health problems. It could be your spouse with a health problem. It could be anybody that you may have to take care of with a health problem. It can be very draining. It's very frustrating to wake up every day and not feel good. To wake up and just feel so frustrated because you feel like you feel, and there's nothing that we can do if you have an overlying health condition. But what can you do? See, that's the difference. You may have a health problem, you may have a chronic issue, a disease or something, but what can you do? You can take care of yourself better. You can learn how to develop patience. You can learn what really can I eat to make me feel better. And I had to learn that my health is my wealth. And no matter how much I want that candy bar or those chips or whatever it is that we like, and it affects our body in a negative way, I had to learn to love myself more than I loved that food item, more than I loved whatever, you know, I was enjoying to eat. So, you know, a health problem will slow you down. Okay. It will slow you down. It will help you to acknowledge maybe I need to be taking care of myself better. And how you treat yourself matters. You could be so busy taking care of everybody and you neglect yourself. You neglect eating, you neglect drinking water, you neglect doing so many things that you need to do for your health. So I always recommend going to see your doctor on a regular basis. I always recommend making sure you're drinking your water and you're eating according to the diet that your doctor has provided you. And that, for me, my health problems got worse because of stress. And stress is something that we can't stop, but we can stop how much we allow people to stress us. You know, I had to learn to cut off those toxic people in my life that were making my health worse, that were giving me headaches, that would spiral up a flare, would traumatize me or would hurt my feelings and then would cause me, because I'm sad, to eat something that I shouldn't. So, make sure you're staying on top of what your doctor has recommended. Make sure you're doing what you need to do for you and taking care of yourself. We get one us, you get one you. You got to take care of the woman or the man that you are, because when your health starts to decline, sometimes we can't get that health back. And even sometimes if you can't shift your health, but you got to do some things to make yourself feel good in your situation, even if you're confined to a bed or a wheelchair, or you have to use some assisted devices like a walker or a cane to be able to get out there. But still, as much as you can do for yourself, do that. And then applaud yourself, when you're able to do more because of how you treat yourself. I'm telling you, the empowerment comes in your mind. You may not be able to change your situation, but you can always change how you treat yourself. You can always change how you show up for yourself. You can always change by cutting yourself off from the negativity and empowering your own self. I don't have to listen to that. I don't want to be a part of that. I'm not going over there. No, I'm not giving this person my money. No, I can't deal. I had to do that for me because it was making me sick. It's always people, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do that for me? Hey, can you show up for, hey, I want or I need. And it's never, hey, how are you doing, Marlene? Can I do something for you? I was just calling to check on you. I don't want anything. I had to learn to cut off those toxic people because they were making my health worse. They were making me gain weight because every time they would call, they would aggravate me. And then my first thing it was to go and get something very unhealthy to eat, some fried food, some ice cream, cookies, something, some chips, something that I know that I shouldn't eat. So now I know what triggers me to eat unhealthy, and that is stress. When people stress me out, I eat my pain. My therapist helped me to come to that space, and that is what helped me to get healthy again and start losing the weight. Not stress eating, not allowing other people to affect me to that extent, because I have already acknowledged who I am and what I'm worth. And, if they don't like it or they want to make fun of you, let them. Okay, whatever. And I stopped going around them. I stopped taking their phone calls, their messages. I don't want to hear from people who only want something from me, because that's stressful and it's rude. If a person can only talk to you when they want something, I leave those people alone. You got to back away from those people because you deserve better. You deserve better. And I said, I deserve better. Hey, Sunshine Films, how are you doing? Yep. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Happy Wednesday. So, that's something that I had to learn. And for those of you who don't know, I had lost almost 40 pounds. Is it 40 pounds? Yes. When I first started, I had ballooned up during the pandemic, because those of you who don't know, in 2021, my brother passed away. And that affected me so much that I didn't even know how much that I started eating my pain away. Because those of you who don't know what happened during the pandemic, losing a loved one in the pandemic was very traumatic, because I was not able to go visit in the hospital. I was not able to, we weren't able to have a funeral. So there was no closure, there was no acknowledging how I feel and all. So I still have some depression from that that I couldn't say goodbye, that I couldn't say anything, but I had to get into therapy and have my own acknowledgement of that. And that has helped my health problems. And that has helped me to lose right now. I started out at, I think it was 187 pounds. And right now I'm 148 or 149. So I still got some ways to go, but I know for sure that I've lost over 30 pounds just because I stopped stress eating. I acknowledged when something was stressing me out. I acknowledged that I felt sad, and I don't cover up that pain anymore. I cut off the behavior. I cut off the toxicity. I cut off the stress. I don't allow people to use me and abuse me anymore. No, you're not going to call me every time you want something. And that's the only time you call me. I don't do that anymore. I cut them off. I'm done with that. And you should be done with it too. Because it only is going to make you feel worse about yourself and make you gain weight and have headaches. Now, this is another thing that we probably could go into talking about this for several other hours. There's a lot of things that stop us from continuing on in this life because of personal issues. You know, we all have things that happen to us in this life, right? We all do. You got things going on. You got personal issues. You got, we all have things that has happened to us or is happening to us. And, you got to have some time for yourself. You have to acknowledge those things. I had to learn that I deserve to pause and take a break. I had to learn how to be compassionate to myself and not just be compassionate to other people. If I need a break, if I need to slow down, then I give myself that. It's time to slow down. It's time to take a break. It's time to unplug. And I've been feeling so much better since I've learned when I'm going through something, take a break, pause, take a deep breath, and take some time for me so that I can be okay. And sometimes we're not okay, and it's okay to not be okay. It's okay because we're human. That's why we're not perfect. People hurt us, people do things to us, and also we do things and we hurt people, but it's the accountability part. I can only be accountable for me and what I do. And also, you have to be accountable for what you allow. I had to learn to be accountable for me and that I don't have to take it. I don't have to answer the phone calls. Actually, I can block you because all you ever do is bring drama. All you do are begging. If only time you call me is when you're begging money or you want something from me, I can't deal with you anymore. I can't deal with that. That stresses me out and it causes my health to become affected. No, don't only call me when you want something. I don't answer those numbers anymore. I refuse to. Yes. Let's have an exchange. What do you mean by that, Sunshine Films? Yes. Yeah, sometimes we're just not all right. But we have to find a way to navigate that. Why am I not okay? And then find something that you can do about it. We may not be able to fix things completely, but we can do something to shift our mindset. And then I acknowledge I'm doing the best that I can. And as long as you know you're doing the best that you can and not just sitting down feeling sorry for ourselves, this is when you have to say, I'm doing this, this, and this. And right now I'm doing the best that I can and I'm proud of myself. Don't stay in that dark hole. Don't allow the outside. Don't let other people say, oh, and you have this and you did that and look at you. There's always going to be the judgments. There's always going to be the haters, the naysayers, the judgmental people. Let them talk. Okay? Let them talk. And I think we got 2 more points and we are going to get out of here. Okay? This life can cause us to just be tired, right? Are you just tired? I know I've spoke with this on this with Boss Life Online and talking about just being tired. Have you ever just felt tired? No matter how much you get sleep, you just cannot get enough sleep because you have to get up and do whatever you have to do the next day. Sometimes that being tired is not a physical tiredness. Sometimes it's a mental tiredness. Sometimes it's the heavy weight of something traumatic that happened to you that you have not acknowledged. And I know my tiredness lifted when I acknowledge my grief. I acknowledge my sadness. I acknowledge when people were non-supportive in my life, that I kind of expected them to be that way. And when I acknowledge that that's what it is, and it is what it is, I cannot make people support me. I cannot make people understand me. I cannot make people be there for me. All I can do is do my personal best and be who I am today. And I'm so grateful for that redemption. I'm grateful for that personal growth, because before I used to feel some type of way, like, how come people treat me this way? But it's because some people think that you are still who you used to be. And that's what people don't know about personal growth and development. I'm not who I was 5, 6 years ago. I've transformed, I've changed, I've empowered myself. These days, I love myself, and I know about boundaries and not being used. And that has really helped me with being tired. Before, I used to be so tired because I didn't know how to say no. No, I can't. I won't. I don't want to. Don't do things you don't want to do. Don't do things for people that they would never do for you. Okay. And that part has helped me to stop being tired, is I learned to stop wasting my time, my energy, and my efforts on people who don't care about me. You got to care about yourself, and you have to get your rest, and you have to take care of yourself. Take what your doctor has advised. For me, I take supplements, I get exercise, I stay active, and I bring joy in my life. I have people in my life that make me feel good about me, and that they're not talking down about me, or they're not saying, oh, you got to do this, and you got to. No, you don't got to do nothing. All you have to do is show up and be yourself. And if that's not okay for some people, that's their problem and not yours. It's not my problem that you don't like how I'm showing up. It's not my problem that you want something, or it's not my problem that you want to know my business and I'm not telling you. I'm not going to tell nobody my business anymore, especially a person who's just a user, especially a person that all they do is spread your business, and they think that you don't know what they've said about you. But we know. It always comes back to us, you know? Oh, no problem. I'm glad that is helpful. Okay, everybody, we have, I think, two more points. This one, as long as you keep going, self-encouragement. And I talked about this a little bit earlier, but I will cover it again. It's important to encourage yourself. Remember, you only get one you, and you have to be your own best friend. And it means that you have to encourage yourself on the times where you feel discouraged, the times where you feel sad, the times where you're going through something. You have to encourage your own self. I remind myself every day I'm proud of myself. I remind myself every day that I am enough. I remind myself every day that I can make it through. And that's what keeps me going. It's not who is in my life. It's not what other people say. It's how I feel about myself. Today, I have an empowered mind. I have a mind that loves myself. I have my spiritual connection. I have my own relationship with my higher power. I have really good friends that support me and pour into me without me having to do anything back. They love me just because I exist, not love me because what I can do for them, or they don't just love me because they can know my business. They just love me because of who I am, just because I'm alive, and just because you exist. Those are real friends. Those are real loved ones. And I had to learn to find people like that in my life that will just love me just for me and not what I can do, because the toxic people, they only love you when you can do something for them. And the rest of the time, they disappear. They ghost you the rest of the time. If they don't need something from you, they don't talk to you. I no longer deal with people like that. I will not acknowledge you. I will not answer your phone calls and your texts. It's just like yada, yada, yada. Okay, whatever. I'm over here minding my own business and keeping my peace. I'm trying my best to maintain. And people don't know sometimes the struggles that you go through. People look at you maybe who you were formerly and not who you are today. And I'm proud of the woman that I am today, because it's taken a lot of work to become accountable, to realize when people were using me and abusing me, to learn to say no and to mean it, to have boundaries and to enforce them. And that encourages me, because I can recognize when someone is trying to hurt me. I can recognize when someone just wants to know my business. I can recognize when someone is a drama person. And I encourage myself by saying, I deserve better than that. I don't need to hear this. I don't need to hear the drama. That encourages me every time and keeps me going. Just because other people in our lives may have some drama going on, it doesn't mean we have to be a part of it. That's when I slowly just back away, or I delete and I block. I block so fast these days because it's not encouraging. If it doesn't fortify my mind, if it doesn't make me feel positive, if it's not some positive information, I don't want to hear it. And that's how I encourage myself to keep going. I identify the draining sources, the things that subtract from me, the people who are always the takers. And when you get rid of the takers, the haters, the jealous, the whatever, people who have so much to say about how you are living your life, when you get rid of that and dismiss it, now I can think in a good state of mind and I can do my best. And I acknowledge that my best is always good enough. I'm doing the best that I can. And I want to say that to all of my gems. You're doing the best that you can. And you got to pat yourself on the back and be proud of yourself. I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm proud of you. And I am proud of me. Okay. And here we are on the last point, everybody. As long as you keep going, right? As long as you keep going, we have to work on self love. We cannot continue on in this life if we don't love ourselves. I can't tell you how much and how important that is. Self love is so important. And don't get me wrong, I'm definitely a person who believes in giving back and helping other people. But at the same time, I don't do things for people first and forget about myself, because that's what I used to do. And that was draining me and stopping me and making me feel very discouraged, because I always put myself last. I was always last. I was the last one on the list. I was always last on the plans. I was always last in life. And anytime if you wanted to do something, it was always like, "Oh, can't you do that later?" Or "Why do you have to do that now?" Always questioning why you're making a choice to choose yourself, why you're making a choice to take care of you. Either it's your physical appearance. Sometimes that self-love is taking care of your spirit. If you're feeling sad or crushed, like, I acknowledge that. Today I have to take a day off for my mental health. Is being Self-love is being self-aware. Self-love is self-care. Making sure I take care of myself in all aspects. And there's a few things that I have to do because I love myself that I don't want to do. And one of them is I don't like going to doctors, but it's part of my self-love. I don't like to eat a healthy diet, but it's part of my self-love and self-care. I don't like drinking water. Actually, I hate water. I've come to the conclusion of that. I hate water, but I drink my water because how it makes me feel, and it's a part of me loving myself. And also the same thing, my self-love means that I get up and I put on my sneakers, my exercise clothes, and I go for a walk. or I go to the gym, or I go to the beach, or I go outside so that I can have something to help me just close my eyes and just exhale, get myself back centered and balanced from this crazy life. That's a part of self-love, is knowing when you need to do some things to restore yourself, restore your spirit, ground your foundation. Okay? Make sure you're taking care of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You get one you, and you have to learn to love yourself. At the age that I am right now, it took me a really long time to be able to say, I deserve to have some time with me by myself. No phones on, no pictures, no nothing. This is just my moment to be with me and to acknowledge how I'm feeling. And I go for a walk with myself. I have the times where I go a walk with just me and my creator. I go for a walk sometimes and I just think about where I was and then who I am today. For me, that's self love, when I look back on who I was and then I look back on who I am today. And I'm proud of the woman that I am today. And I want you to say that about yourself too. I'm proud of the woman or the man that I am today. And I love myself. And I'm my own best friend because I do the things necessary to take care of myself, whether that's rest, whether that's a vacation, whether it's how I'm eating or drinking, whether it's, who I allow to be in my life. That's all self love. If you love yourself, you know when to cut people off. When you love yourself, you know who is aggravating you. When you love yourself, you know when it's time to switch things up. You know when it's time to reset. And also, because I love myself, I give myself the permission to start over and over and over again as much as I need to, because we fall down, we make mistakes, life happens, and then we get up and we rise up stronger, more courageous, more empowered. So, yes, life can bring us down, people can hurt us, we can feel discouraged, we can be disappointed, but at the end of the day, you got to love yourself. At the end of the day, you have to say that out loud. I love myself and I am enough and I am worth it and I'm doing my best. Not what other people think you should do, what other people want you to do, what other people like, but what you know you can do within your life and your boundaries. Hi, Charlene. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. So, that's all the points that I wanted to cover and to say to everybody. Love yourself. I want you to know that you're enough. I want you to know that you're very capable. And anytime you are feeling down, acknowledge that. I'm down, I'm discouraged, but this is not the end for me. You take a break and you rest, then you restore yourself and you get back on track. And you restore and you get back on track. And you remind yourself and you speak over your life. That is so important to keep you going. I have to speak over my life and I have to remind myself I deserve to continue. I know it's hard. I know this and this is a trial, but I'm doing my best and I'm proud of myself. That keeps me going. It's a shot in the arm that as long as I'm doing my best, it's enough. Yes, life can happen. Yes, people will say and do things. Yes, people will hate on you. Yes, life is a struggle. Yes, we have health problems. Yes, we get depressed. Yes, we get discouraged. But then we take time to acknowledge it, find out the sources of why we're feeling that way, and we fix it. See, we're adults. We don't ignore it. We don't push it in the closet. We face it. So face the issue or the problem and what is making you feel that way, and then do something about it. You get one you. Love yourself. Love yourself. There's nobody who's going to love you like you love yourself. You have to treat yourself well. You have to set boundaries and enforce them. No, I'm not the one. I don't have to take that. No, I don't have to take that phone call. No, I'm not going to do that for you. No, I can't afford it. And I'm okay with that. It's been a long road to get me to this space where I am right now and today, that I may not be able to afford it. I may not have the support I want. People may not like me. People may not support me, but I like me and I support me and I like my own company. And I want people around me that support me for who I am today, not who I was 7 or 8 years ago, but for the person that I am today. And if somebody can't appreciate you for the woman or man you are today, they don't deserve to be in your life. Don't even acknowledge them. Don't take part in their foolishness and their lies and their drama. People want to discourage you and keep you down so that they can look at you and say, oh, you're this or you're that. People will always talk about you behind your back or in your face. But it's, how do you take that? Okay, they said that, but is it true what they're saying, or is it a lie? As long as you know it's not true, then you go on. But if something that somebody has said and it's true, it may hurt, but you need to work on that and fix it so you can be a better person, and then you move on. We're not perfect, but we can always be better, and we can always do better, and we have to work on being our own best self. Charlene says, so true. This is a part of life, to focus on growing in a positive way, to fight for peace and human flaws. Yes, we all have flaws. There's nobody perfect, even though there are so many people, and I know you all know some, who think that they're perfect, who think that, they know everything about what you should do. And people love to tell you how to handle your own business. They want to tell you how to run your own life. But you know your circumstance, you know your finances, you know that you're doing your best. And as long as you speak that to yourself, I'm doing my best and I'm proud of myself, nothing else matters. Other people's opinions of you is none of your business. You have to leave it there. Don't let other people get you down. Don't let other people break you. Know that you're enough. Okay? That's what the message I'm going to leave with you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger. Thank you so much for your support. If you're new here, subscribe to this channel if you've enjoyed the content. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you so much. Please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Shout out to my channel members. I appreciate every single one of you for your support. I'm Life with Marlene, and I am your life coach. For more positivity, make sure you check out some videos of mine or previous live streams. And I'll see you guys on the next one.